Now, meantime, Rudy Giuliani has a new message for Robert Mueller, who's still investigating President Trump and his ties to Russia. That message is, quote, "Write the damn report." Today, the president's attorney tweeted, quote, CNN poll shows 66% say Mueller should complete his investigation before the upcoming elections. DOJ has policy to refrain from investigatory activity in 60-day period before election. DOJ should require Mueller to submit his report before September 7th. Now, if Mueller doesn't wrap things up soon, is he at risk of, as Giuliani puts it, quote, pulling a Comey and interfering in the midterms? Let me ask former Trump campaign manager and author of Let Trump Be Trump. It is Corey Lewandowski. He's also a senior strategist at Vice President Pence's PAC Great America. Welcome back, Corey.
Thank you for having me.
So what do you make of this strategy and the president's attorney sort of forcing the timeline of special counsel?
Look, I think what Mayor Giuliani is doing is asking for a conclusion to something that's now been going on for 2 years. The American people deserve a conclusion. And if the Mueller investigators have found something, any type of evidence, that they should write that report and present it to the Department of Justice so we can go on with it. But there hasn't been any. There is no evidence. There is no collusion. There's no cooperation, no coordination between the Russians and the Trump campaign. And so let's end this investigation. Let's save the taxpayers' money, and let's not bring this through the midterm elections, because that is a disservice to the country.
All right, but if it does go into and past the midterms, is there any way that benefits the president?
Look, I don't think this investigation benefits or hurts the president either way, particularly at the ballot box. But what I do think is the American people are tired of it. There has been not one scintilla of evidence that the president or our team did anything wrong to impact the outcome of the election. The only team that was trying to impact the outcome of the election through nefarious means was the Clinton campaign. They're the ones that took millions of dollars, paid a former spy to go put together a false dossier, and there's not been one prosecution from that so far. So that's where I think the Mueller team should be investigating, which is the real crime, which is the Clinton collusion.
Yeah, okay, Corey, the thing I like about you is your honesty. And I want to pose a hypothetical. Say you're on a pleasure cruise with Paul Manafort and Omarosa. The thing is sinking. You obviously have your life jacket on because you're a responsible boater. Neither of them do. Neither of them know how to swim. You've only got one life jacket left. Who do you throw it to?
I'd love to see the dogfight between the two of them, to tell you the truth. I don't know who would win or lose, but I think it would be a great fight to watch, and my guess is Omarosa comes out on top.
Interesting. So she's the one who survives. As you watch the Manafort trial unfold, do you think his side was smart to rest without calling anyone?
Well, I'm not an attorney, but let me say this. I think he's received a fair trial. I don't know who he would have called as a potential defense witness in this case to say that he did pay his taxes, because I think the burden of proof is now clearly there. That shows that he made tens of millions of dollars, had that money in offshore accounts, and the jury is going to look at the evidence that's presented and come back with a fair verdict in that case. So I don't even know who Paul Manafort or his defense team could have called to help him out of this, because there's nobody there who could justify that Paul didn't know the money was there.
Oh, he knew the money was there. Absolutely.
Of course he did.
But is that the purview of special counsel? I mean, shouldn't it have been up to another government agency to do this sort of investigation and prosecution?
Look, I agree with you, and I think everything that Paul Manafort has been accused of in these crimes, these 18-count indictment, has nothing to do with his tenure with the Trump organization. It preceded that time by at least 10 years, and this probably should have been referred to a U.S. Attorney's office somewhere to go after him for those crimes. That wasn't the case, and now we're going to see what the jury says. When they deliberate tomorrow, I don't think we're going to be waiting for the jury to come back 4 or 5 days. I think it's going to be a fairly quick verdict.
You think, okay, so the over-under is like an hour and a half. I think that's how long the O.J. jury deliberated. What do you take in the over, the under with this jury?
I'll take the over, but under 8 hours.
Under 8 hours. Okay, so you think we're going to have something tomorrow. Now, you despise Paul Manafort, and you think that he is a user and a life wrecker and a scummy agent, perhaps, of the devil. Do you think he's going to be found guilty or not guilty?
You know, I don't know, and look, I wouldn't want to see anybody's lives ruined. And look, the real question is, has Paul been treated fairly because of his association with Donald Trump? And I don't know. Look, Paul and I aren't friends, but I think it's very difficult to have a white-collar criminal in jail now for a tax evasion charge. And look, I think the case was probably proved beyond a shadow of a doubt. It's not for me to say, it's for the jury to say. But spending the rest of your life in jail is a harsh penalty for anybody. And while I'm not a fan of Paul's, I don't know if that punishment fits the crime.
Did the president have you sign an NDA when you worked for him?
I signed an NDA right at the very beginning of my tenure with the Trump Organization back in January of 2015.
Do you think that Omarosa's NDA is enforceable?
I think her NDA, as it relates to her tenure at the campaign and probably the transition, is enforceable. But again, I'm not an attorney. I don't know how you can prevent a government employee from providing information after they leave government service. I don't know how enforceable an NDA is as it relates to government employees.
All right, so there's obviously a difference between working on the campaign and working in the administration. You know, in the private sector, we see these kind of agreements all the time. I will be very curious to see if hers is in fact enforceable, and if it's not. I think there are plenty of people who, you know, when they jump ship and leave the administration, will want to capitalize in the exact same way. Is she right in saying that people who leave are given a $15,000 a month job, a no-show job?
You know, I don't believe that to be true at all. And look, I think what has happened in the past, and look, the campaign is now going after Omarosa in arbitration for her violation of her tenure during the campaign, not as her violation as a government employee. So it's a very fair distinction to make. As a private entity, they believe that she has breached that non-disclosure agreement. I think they're very right in that, and they will seek that penalty in arbitration. Look, people leave the administration all the time and aren't given positions, aren't paid. They offered Omarosa an additional opportunity to continue to be a forward-facing resource for the campaign, a spokesperson. She chose not to do that, and instead she decided to burn a bridge and make up salacious statements about the president, which we know are clearly unfounded.
Who would you rather see in prison, Omarosa or Paul Manafort?
Oh, look, I don't think Omarosa deserves to be in prison, to be honest with you, and I think Paul's going to have his day, if not tomorrow, in the very near future, if not this trial, the next one.
Well, we will see. Corey Lewandowski, thank you so much.
Thank you.